What's good, everybody? Sherman Webb, Middlebrooks, lifelong Buffalo resident and full-time black man, back at you with another episode of the Emerging Leader Spotlight. And as always, we're going to have a dynamic conversation with a dope guest who's doing tremendous work in the community that deserves some light shed on them. Today, I have the opportunity of hanging out with another homie of mine. It's just like me kicking in with friends all the time, right? And so I got to be real particular about my introduction. I had to ask her, what name is she going by? Because I didn't even know her real name, but I'm going to go by the name that I know. So we here with Ally. Now,
That's right.
How do you say your last name again?
Geddes.
Geddes. We here with Ally Geddes, right? You are MSW, and you serve currently as the Community Impact Program Manager at the John R. O'Shea Foundation. I'm sorry. And you joined in 2018. So that's dope. That's what you've been doing now. You're originally from Long Island, and you moved to Buffalo in 2010 to study at UB, where you earned a BA in health science and a master's of social work. That's dope. That's dope. And I think that was about the time where we connected. Yeah, when we were going through the program. That program chewed me up and spit me out.
Yeah.
But you made it through, and I'm so proud of you. And so we're here today to have a conversation about her role as an emerging leader. But first and foremost, go ahead, talk to the people, let them know anything that I missed from your introduction and where and how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so actually, I think when we originally met was through the trauma-informed yogis in service yoga teacher training.
Yes.
So that is part of my background in the wellness and fitness space. It's how I put myself through my master's program, because you could train people at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., you could go to class, you could take a lunch break, train a couple more people, and, so it's just really flexible. So, yeah, so that's part of my story for sure. Yeah, I guess there's more to it, but
Cool.
I think we'll get into it, right?
Yeah, we definitely will. So first and foremost, outside of school, what brought you to Buffalo from Long Island, like outside of school, or was it just being able to come here and study like in the health sciences and stuff like that?
Yeah, so actually, it really was school. It was tuition, New York State residency,
Okay.
better tuition
Okay.
than leaving and going too far away. But then also it was a way to just like try to get out of my bubble a little bit, like go somewhere new that wasn't super scary, right? Like super far away from everything I knew on Long Island and New York. But yeah, just far enough away.
Word.
I think it's like what they used to say. I don't know if they still say it. But it's the farthest you can go and still pay in-state tuition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what brought me here.
I mean, I've only ever lived here my entire life, but I've been to New York a lot. I got a lot of friends and family. My daughter's mom is from New York, so I could probably see folk in the city thinking, having that mindset of like, okay, total tangent and sidebar, sorry.
My favorite.
Yeah, right.
Actually, yeah.
Right. When you were thinking about coming up to Buffalo, did you hear or think that we did like cow tipping and there was going to be a bunch of farms and stuff up here?
No. So I had some friends that already went to school here. So
Okay.
I had heard a little bit about it. But I will not lie to you. And that's also what like kept me here.
Okay.
Was the first time I got off the train at the Exchange Street train station when I came to visit, I was like a tumbleweed rolled by. I was like, where am I? But also at the same time, like a Sabres game just got out. And so it's all these people in like these Sabres jerseys and having a lot of fun. But like I was like, what is the, where, and the wind was blowing. So I was like, huh. So it's actually like, it's funny that like, even after that, I was like, no, I'm going to make this my home.
Word.
So yeah.
Yeah,
But it's wild to see how that was one of my first impressions of Buffalo. And then like, I blinked, and there's so much going on down there.
Yeah.
Like that train station. I took the train back to New York. I'm grown.
Right.
I took the train. During Thanksgiving time. I really haven't taken the train since college. So, but like it was like a blast from the past, and I was like, oh, the train station has like a whole place where I can sit in it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so different. It's so different.
You don't look like you're lost standing outside of an abandoned building.
Yeah, no tumbleweeds really going by. I was like, oh, this is nice. Like I sat there, had a coffee. It's like,
Word.
okay.
Yeah, wow, that's always been about what, 15 or so years?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do feel like this is home now?
Yeah, and actually, I've been told that I can say it's home.
Okay.
I've like been given permission when I'm like, oh, I'm not originally from here, and then I'm like, oh, it'll be 16 years this August that I've been here, and people are like,
Yeah, you're from here now.
yeah, you.
Yeah, honestly, you don't have any New York accent.
Yeah.
And I met you here.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, you're a regular Buffalonian to me.
Yeah, yeah, no, I had to blend in a little bit. There's still sometimes, I did talk to my mom earlier today, and I feel like when I got off the phone with my family, sometimes can come through a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to drop that. But if you can catch me, I still have to like really think about the word drawer and draw. I know how to spell it. Like I know how to spell it, but sometimes if I'm just like really spitting and just it comes right out.
Yeah,
I'm like,
just
"Ooh."
comes right out. So is that the Long Island thing where, what did you say earlier? You sat at the train station, was able to have a what?
Oh, a coffee.
Okay, yeah, you said, you don't say coffee. It's no,
Yeah,
it's no W in there.
Yeah, there's no, see, and I think that's where I get it from too, is that like I really like to read, and
Okay.
so I like words.
Okay,
So I probably overpronounce words sometimes.
gotcha.
You know,
That's dope.
but
That's
yeah,
dope.
so it's like I want to do the words justice.
Yeah,
I wanna-
words have meaning
They have meaning.
for a reason.
Okay, yeah, if I'm gonna speak them, let me speak them the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
does that mean? But
With the little nuance and
Yeah.
discretion in between.
yeah, a
Of
little
course.
sauce on top,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
seasoning.
There you go. Add a little flavor to
Little
it.
flavor,
Make it your
but-
own.
Yeah, so
Yeah, make it your own.
yeah, but yeah.
That's dope. So, talk to me a little bit about the work that you're doing now, being a community impact program manager, and how having a unique lens of kind of being like a hybrid of somebody who wasn't originally born here, but now identifies with this place. How is like that work, literally doing community impact work? Like, how is your lens and your overall unique perspective shape your role in that work?
Yeah, actually, I would love to ask the people that. Like, I would be like, what do you think of me doing this community impact work? The Oshai Foundation is very specific in our new strategic framework around racial equity,
Okay.
right? And I'm a white woman.
Oh, for real?
Shocking. Yeah, I don't know if you can see me, but I'm a white woman. And so I do feel like I just like to always kind of like just in that work being a community impact anything. Started out Mobile Safety Net Team, which is an initiative of the foundation.
Right.
And always been community impact, but community in different communities. So
Yeah.
I just, it's always just taking the lead from the folks that are embedded in the community, that are legacy residents that have lived in the community, so just taking the lead from there. So
Yeah, I think, and I find myself saying this often, like as doing these emerging leader spotlights. I really personally just define community as the things that we have in common that unite us.
yeah.
So like communities isn't always what's on a demographic part of an application or a piece of paper. Like we have a community. There are multiple things that unite us.
Yeah.
And so having that perspective, I'm always trying to see like how are people using this word community, and is it like sort of like a dog whistle for other words, but I really see the work that you do and just knowing you and seeing you around, like, no, you're a bridge builder, and you are doing a lot of work connecting people, not only people in rooms, but you're connecting people to resources. And I see you just show up to many a place and just listen.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that you're in the room until I see you in the corner sitting there taking notes, trying not to be noticed though, but you're in there just listening to what the people have to say. And that's something that personally, I don't know if I ever had a chance to like share with you, or if there's ever like an opportunity to be like, yo, I really just respect how you just pull up and just put yourself in try to be as empathetic as possible, and put yourself in other people's shoes, and you like go on listening tours. And so I really respect that. So where does that part of your personality and nature comes from?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. I do feel like it's really important to me that people feel safe, or as safe as possible. And that actually even goes back to like when you're talking about community, and I love that framing too. And I appreciate that because I feel like I do get lost in the sauce with like community is this very specific, it is this zip code, it is that, and it is more than that.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that framing. And I think about it in the sense too where like one of my first real like examples of community and community building was in the fitness and wellness space. And it was, and you know, just finding people in that way where it's like, you know, just finding your people in that space, and then making sure that like, especially then as an instructor in spaces. So previously, just up until February, I was a spin instructor.
Oh.
And so I was teaching spin every Friday night for a long time. And I love a Friday night spin class. It was like a portal to the weekend.
Yeah.
You get to like shut it off, and you get to just kind of like, and it spins. So I know that some people are like, that's some crazy stuff. And I'm like,
and that's with the weighted bike wheel, right?
yeah, it's like a cycling class. So it's a bike to nowhere.
Yeah.
And I just play some music and we can dance a little bit on a bike. And it was really fun. But also I feel like being in that space, like, it matters to people. So like creating that container and like creating that space for people to come in and just be like, I had a really bad week, I had a really bad day, or I had a really great week or really great day. And like just making sure that like this space is meeting everybody where they're at. And so really just kind of understanding like, oh, this is a community, and people start to open up about like how they feel in their body when they come into a class, and they start to talk, or they're like, I really like this song, or people get moved like emotionally in these spaces too. So it's like, so the more I even got in that space, the more I was able to translate that into just like any other community space.
Right.
So I was like, and then also I gotta give some credit to the MSW, because I feel like I learned interventions and things like that, but I really learned how to like be introspective and like really understand myself. I feel like every personality test, all of those things, like, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff that you're like, like, you know, so you get to like figure out who you are, and then you're like, well, how would I want to be held in a space like this? So coming at it from that, like that compassion, like, so like a compassionate mindset. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's dope. And I feel like that is the beauty of programs in school. It gives you the opportunity to intentionally reflect.
Yeah.
And I think like that's dope. And also when you're talking about community, so that is, you're reminding me, it's like your spin class is making me think about like my men's mental health group, because it really grew into something when I reflected intentionally and was like, it's not always about I had a rough week.
Yeah.
Or I had a rough day, or I'm going through a tough time, or I'm about to go through a tough time. Sometimes a lot of people have victories and stuff that they want to celebrate.
Yeah.
But sometimes your celebration or your victory could be looked at as like a threat or an opportunity to somebody else. And you may not feel comfortable in certain spaces sharing your victories or sharing your success. So like now you hold everything close to the chest, but then where do you go to like celebrate yourself? And so having spaces like that where you can create a space where people can come and say, yeah, last week I went through this tough thing and I was able to open up, but this week I got something really, really good going on, and I want to be able to share that too. And I think that is the beauty of like mental health and wellness and community. It's not always let's struggle together, but like let's celebrate together too. Who do you celebrate your victories and your wins with? The same way like you go through your losses and your tough times together. So that's, to me, again, is what community is for, and creating those really safe and brave spaces. So kudos to you for being able to hold that space for as long as you did.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about too, about just the work that you've been doing like around like housing, food, education, safety, transportation, and why is it more important for you to move past not only just the individual things, but how do you see like the importance of exponentiating your work, I guess, is how I will look at it.
Yeah, actually, I feel like through like some of the programs I've done and the opportunities and the individuals I've been able to meet, I've been able to, going all the way back to language, now I feel like I have the language to really realized that, like, for so long, my whole journey, even in Buffalo, started with wanting to address social determinants of health. I didn't have that language.
Right.
Originally. I was like working in the wellness space and was like graduated from my undergrad and was like, what's next? So I was still kind of working in the fitness space, and people were coming with like the same struggles that were impacts of social determinants of health.
Right.
And I was like not understanding it. And so I actually went to pursue a master's in nutrition and dietetics first. And then it just became more about like, I mean, I learned how to cut an onion. So I know how to cut an onion.
Without crying?
No, I still cry. But,
Okay.
You know, I still, yeah. So like, you know, but I've heard the tips and the tricks, the glasses, the goggles, the stuff, the
Underwater or something like that?
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but like learn how to cut an onion, like dice it up. So I learned how to do that. But then also it was very much just like, these are the systems that exist that you're just going to have to figure out
And
how to play
navigate.
in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey, question. What if we just tried something different? Like, what if if it's not working, why are we just going to keep doing it this way?
Right.
So that's where I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. And so I like, I flipped a coin. No, I didn't. I left the program and I pursued my master's in social work. I was very torn between a master's in public health and a master's in social work.
Okay.
But social work, I didn't, the code of ethics and things like that is what brought me there. I was like, okay, even if after this I don't know where to go, I feel like I chose at least sort of like a values aligned profession.
Right.
So
With a lot of flexibility, if you know how to market yourself.
right, yeah, because I feel like especially like I actually don't even refer to myself because also, and I mean, I don't know if you've talked on before about how you feel about it, because same, right? Like for all of the good things it brought me, I feel like what we don't do well, which we could do better at. Let me rephrase that.
Language.
Let me strength space.
There we go. Here we go.
I feel like an opportunity we have as like just society is like we can hold multiple truths at one time.
Absolutely.
And I feel like a lot of folks are like, no, it's good, it's bad. And I'm like,
It's not how life works.
actually there's so much gray, there's so much nuance. It's
Yes.
like, you know, so I do hold both of those things at the same time where I'm like, it was really great for me. I know that it's rooted, it's got some dark roots.
Right.
It's got some stuff. So so that's a whole other side.
It definitely is. And I commend any and everybody who is able to find whatever they need to do in order to make it through that program. Yeah, and it also put me on like a spiritual journey too of like understanding like, okay, what's purpose and what's my purpose and where am I supposed to be? And if this door closes, where's the window I'm supposed to jump in?
Right.
Or would the window I'm supposed to jump out of?
Right.
And so just figuring that out, it puts you again in the opportunity to reflect. Okay, now what's next? And so I think also one of the ways I got back into trying the program again was through my experience with emerging leaders and getting a mentor who was a professor there, right? And then being able to begin again with more support. Because when I originally entered the program, I had no support.
Yeah.
And so when I tried it again, I was able to have more support, was able to meet Kelly Patterson, was able to meet both Dr. St. Ville's when they first got here before they ever started teaching. And I realized like what I was supposed to get was the relationship I got with Chris and Noel. Like that's what I really benefited from my time there, developing that personal relationship. But I wouldn't have got that had I not had the wonderful Kelly Patterson as my mentor through the Emerging Leaders Program. So talk to me a little bit about, go ahead.
That's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was my community social work instructor, my teacher,
Oh,
and
wow.
I remember doing a community like intervention assessment and writing a paper and all of it, and I was just like, wow. And this was like one of my last classes in grad school. I was like, how do I do this?
Yeah,
all the time.
right.
So so I didn't know that about you and Kelly. I don't know that Kelly would know me anymore, but I should probably send her an email and be like, by the way.
Word. Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out Kelly.
Yeah, shout out Kelly. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about your experience in the Emerging Leaders Program and what drew you to it And yeah, just what drew you to it? Why Open Buffalo? Why Emerging Leaders? How did you find out about us?
Yeah. Wow. How did I find? Oh, so I found out. The wonderful people of Open Buffalo came to a board meeting that Oshai was having and
Okay.
talked to us about as we were, doing our strategic plan and or strategic framework build out and things like that. And so just really talked to us about just racial justice, economic justice, right? Those are the
All the things that's on my hoodie.
all that. Yeah.
But hey, producer, you ain't producing. The camera on the hoodie. We got the kids producing. No, put it on me. We talking about the hoodie. There we go. Shout out to these wonderful Open Buffalo hoodies we got. Okay, now I'm executive producer. Now back on both of us. Camera 3. There we go, girls. We're going to break the fourth wall here during Ally's wonderful interview. I have both of my daughters back there producing. This is a family business here at Open Buffalo. We support family business and teaching the youth tangible skills that they can apply going forward. Right. Now, back to your experience in the Emerging Leaders Program. So they came to the office.
And they just talked the talk, right? Like they talked this out, they walked the walk, they did it all. Right? Like they just knew what they were talking about, and I was like, wow, like this is. And so I just got tapped in the shoulder, and they were like, if you want to think about applying, and I was like, okay, like I don't know if I didn't know if it was a space for me, and so when I had a little, and I was just open about that, and they were like, that's what makes it a space for you. Like that is what makes it a space for you too. So, so I got into it. That's how I got into it. And then also after doing some research, it was very much like, and I talked to my mentor, the late great Larry Cook. He was my boss for like my entire professional lifetime, pretty much my entire professional career in Buffalo. And so I talked to him a lot about like, should I do this? Like, I think I want to do this. And I mean, we talked a lot about like the importance of like, there's other ways to, to grow in a career professionally. But this felt like I was going to go deep. Yeah. Like I wasn't like, it felt different because I wasn't looking to like get like developed to be like a corporate, you know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, it felt so much more of like a natural space to be in where I could learn all of the important leadership skills that I needed to really like hone in, but do that with a community lens. Yeah. So it was really it was really like after some intentional conversation, I was like, I'm gonna do this. This feels like this is where change makers go. Right. So I was like, if this is where the change makers go, and I already said I was like, why are we doing the things that we know don't work? Right. Like, you want to make change. Let's go make some change. Yeah. Yeah. I've always thought that was a lot easier, and then now I'm in spaces where I'm like, this is harder to cut through this red tape. We need bigger scissors, I think. Ooh, I like that. We're gonna need bigger scissors. I like that. I definitely like that. So that's an amazing story, and it kind of like it makes sense. But again, going back to that personal thing. So like, and how you were identified. So I'm curious, who was the person who tapped you on the shoulder? I think it was Max. Okay, cool. Yeah. I just love how that happens because, folks, that's how I got sent to the program. Sitting there minding my business, and then somebody was like, "You'll be really good for this." Yeah. Shout out to Natasha. She's like, "You'll be really good for this," and I was like, "Whatever." I don't know what it is that you see in me that you think I'm gonna be good for this, but whatever. I'll try it. And again, if I like it and it works out, I'll stick with it. And then if not, I will remove myself. But then they ain't been able to get rid of me since. Right? Yeah, that's why it's like I'm like everywhere for them. Yeah. They're like, oh, there you are again. Yeah. And I'm like, you did invite me to the first party, so I'm just gonna keep showing up. Keep showing up, and it's funny. So like every time I see anything with Open Buffalo, this is how I know I'm still invited because I see my picture in places, and I'm like,
y'all are getting a lot of use out of that photo release I signed about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
You signed one photo release for these people. They put your picture everywhere.
Yeah, I saw like on the most recent like email blast, my coworker Jarrell was one of, which I didn't know he was an emergency.
Yeah, shout out to my boy. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey, I didn't know we were EL fam.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, that's cool. And then he's like one of the poster boys on the email. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, that's me at Juneteenth last year. Like, I was like,
Yeah, you signed a photo release for them. They gonna use it.
Yeah.
They gonna use it.
yeah. When they stop that, maybe I'll get worried.
Right.
Actually. I'll be like, oh.
Right. There you go. Good point. Good point. Yeah. If I ever stop seeing myself, I'm gonna have to call up there and be like,
What's up?
what's going on? Did I do something? Have I done it? Am I done emerging? I thought it was a continuous thing. So again, in your experience, what would you say? Because it is a commitment. That is, in my experience, and I'm assuming because you're sitting here in your experience, it was worth it. So what would you say was probably the best part about your experience? And yeah, what was the best? Was it like a particular event? Was it a training? What was the best part about your experience that helped you learn and grow as a person and professional?
That's a tough question because there was so much, especially like the point in time that I was in was like unsure about like where I was going in the work, and I was like, I don't know. And the goal from the second I interviewed to intern at Mobile Safety Net Team to then being offered the position at Mobile Safety Net Team to then being offered the position at the foundation was a dream come true. And so, but I was going through like is this where I'm supposed to be kind of moment. And it really just like, so it was just, everything was so meaningful. I mean, it was a really important time for me to be building community.
Right.
And so I do feel like it feels like a cop out, but like that first weekend, like that again, like thinking about, I've been in some really exclusive spaces, and then you know when you've like found like a soft landing, and you know what I mean, and you're just like everybody was like, everybody there was a warm hug, and I had known 0 people going in there.
Right.
So it was like, wow. And like that's my family.
Yeah.
Like that's like, we kick it all the time. Like we are, everybody is like everybody's biggest cheerleader. So it's like, that's also probably why like I don't enjoy my rent payment as much as I want to, because I'm like, oh, you're doing this, I'll be there. Oh, you're doing that, I'll be there. Like, you know, like, so the calendar fills up quick because it's like you got to show up for your people.
Absolutely. And that is what makes community, and that's what makes Buffalo. And it's funny because I would always talk with my mom like jokingly and be like, man, people love planning our weekends for us. Like, cause every time you look up, it's like, y'all gonna take all 52 Saturdays in the year. And hey, I need Sunday, September to February to watch the Bills. I give y'all 52 Saturdays, but September to February, I'm gonna need my Sundays back.
That's right.
Spring and summer, I can give you the other 26 or so Sundays, but whew.
Yeah.
But it also is dope because it's like I get to have moments where like my daughter will be 10, and like when her mom did the program, she was pregnant with her. So it's like, I remember when, oh, that's your baby. Oh, they look at her. I remember you using your mom, or they be like, I know you. My daughter will walk away, be like, how do they know me?
Right.
But it's like you don't understand like the community you were born into. As they do cute stuff behind the camera with paperclip nails. So yeah, it does help you build a community as well. So it's so many things that I have here that I want to talk with you about. But I'm curious too. Since the program, what have you been engaged and involved in? Just not only as an emerging leader through Up in Buffalo, but what have been some of the other personal and professional endeavors that you feel like sprouted off of your emerging leaders journey and experience?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things about being an emerging leader is also then like knowing that you are in a room filled with folks that are going to make change. And that can look like they started their own business, they went back to get a degree, or, you know, like all of these different, starting their own nonprofits. I am literally thinking of people in my brain from my cohort that have done all of these things.
Yeah.
And so it's just such an inspiring place to be in. And so what I feel like for a little bit, like one of the things that I always say is like I chew on things, like I'm a chewer. And so I feel like since the program, I've really just been like leaning into taking up space in this, and just trying to figure out like where I should be going but like what's calling to me. And so really since then, I have been getting back into like being a little bit more creative and like going in some different directions. So it took a little bit of finessing and figuring out and meeting the right people along the way. But I just got back from Pembroke, Virginia.
Oh, okay, cool.
To get trained to be a death doula.
Interesting.
Yes, that is death, like dying, death.
Yes, I've never heard that term before.
Yeah.
Break that down, because so much of your work, in my own like direct experience with you, right, and then my own vicarious experience of you, has been about helping people improve their overall quality of life.
Yeah.
Getting the most out of their life, improving their health and wellness for their life, improving the social determinants of their health. But what I learned as a community health worker, the social determinants of health impact the places where not only do we work and play, but also live and die.
Yeah.
So for me, when you said that, I was like, oh, look at her. That's full circle.
Yeah.
So talk to me about why did you embark on that endeavor, and what has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, it has been a wild ride, even just coming back from it. I also have been to people like, how are you feeling when you come back from it? And I'm like, I don't know how to describe it right now. The wording I have for it is just like, my perspective is like, if YOLO was a person. Like, I just feel like everything, like, I feel like when you go through that experience and you really like sit with death, dying, grief, loss, and just like really hold it for what it is, judgment free.
Right.
We all go through it.
Right.
If you haven't yet, you're experiencing it, right? Like in some way, shape, or form. So it just feels like I look around and it's like, how, like, it created for me just what it means to be a lot more intentional in how I'm spending my time and what's getting me frustrated and what's bringing me joy. So it's really, so that way it's been really introspective. But I got into it, which this was my learning curve going to this, where we really talked about death and dying. I got into it because I learned about disenfranchised grief.
Oh.
And so also, if you don't know what a death doula is, it's a non-medical support for end-of-life transition and transformation.
Okay.
Is kind of the quick and dirty about it. But really, like, when I started to understand disenfranchised grief, that's where I was like, oh. And then also, like, Buffalo, I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so glad that folks have welcomed me here, and I have created and been invited to create such a beautiful community and take up space with some really cool people. And I also say that as like, I also know that this is my home because of everything that everybody's been through. Like is my neighbors, it's my family.
Yeah.
Like I'm not disconnected from it.
It's a common unity.
Yes, bring
Yeah.
that word down.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so that's where I really got into understand, like, just holding things and just being like, oh, that's grief.
Right.
Like, oh, and then like on the other side of grief is joy. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Inside Out.
No, I haven't. Is that but that's the cartoon one with?
It is a cartoon.
Oh my God.
You can't have sadness. Spoiler alert. You can't have joy without sadness. And I was like,
50 Cent taught me that. He said, joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Death got to be easy. Life is hard. It leaves you physically, mentally, emotionally scarred.
There you go.
I shouldn't have been 12 years old listening to 50 Cent.
That's okay. We all were.
But it stuck with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's on my movie list.
the,
Inside Out.
yeah, no, especially when you look at, and like, I mean, also like, we're not gonna talk about this, but like, I love reality TV for the sociological experiment of it all,
And we grew up with it.
dynamics. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a child of the real world.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, me too.
and Flavor of Love. You know what I mean? Like,
Watching
all
it
of
with my mama.
all of it,
Yeah.
all of it, right?
Yeah.
From every which way, and then like you just understand like when you can kind of zoom out from it, and then you look in, and you're like, oh, this dynamic is at play. Like this internalized sexism role is,
yeah.
and it's like, oh my gosh, like I would love for somebody to just like watch me for a week and just be like, that you should talk about that in therapy.
Yeah.
Like that's a deeper wound, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's an aside. But I do feel like when it comes to just like the community that I've been able to be a part of, there's so much joy.
Right.
But like you shouldn't have to like we shouldn't always just have to like we shouldn't have to feel like one, we should be able to have as much joy as possible.
Absolutely.
Without experiencing grief. But like the grief that we go through should be honored.
Yeah.
And our systems don't let us do that in any graceful way, even when you look at just like bereavement.
Right.
Like, so even when you look at it in a system, and then when you look at it from like a co-liberation framework, like it's really important that everybody has access to this next phase of life. And I'm talking about folks in the queer community that as we're watching the rights get stripped away, what does that mean for end of life care?
Right.
If I can't be in the room, or if somebody can't be in the room with their partner,
Their life partner, because of whatever. And that is,
you know what I mean? Like these are things that we
interesting.
have to like really, we have to get comfortable talking about.
yeah. Yeah.
And then, because then that's a whole nother level of grief and loss, right? It's like I didn't get to be there when my person left. So there's so many layers, and that's where like I know I could spin off about it in so many ways.
Yeah, because I think also a producer, you about to get fired. You better be glad I'm editing this. I edit this part out. You can get fired. But I also think when we're talking about grief, and this is something that I've again experienced through my men's support group with the Center for Health Equity, is it's not just always about death and dying. And then when you apply like the stages of grief, like I've personally and professionally grieved, and then I've been able to witness grief in others.
Yeah.
So like you may have had an idea of a relationship or a career or an opportunity that you lost.
Yeah.
And now you negotiating, now you contemplate, now you going through all the stages of grief, because you're grieving the loss of that opportunity or that relationship, and it isn't always just the loss of life. However, I think me personally, having dealt with so much loss of life in my life, I was able to identify like the same emotions, the same feelings, the same behaviors that I was engaging in. Like I'm acting like somebody died when I didn't get an opportunity I wanted. Or I'm acting like somebody died when this idea of a relationship or something that I thought was gonna happen no longer exists. Like, oh wow, I'm going through the stages of grief. So thinking about it from that perspective, and then also having kids, I was saying to my oldest yesterday that like when it comes to life, because you know teenagers go through stuff and they figuring it out.
Yeah.
So as she was going through something, it occurred to me like what she needs to hear in this moment, because she thinks like the world is ending.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're 16, your world is just starting, and like this is how life works. And two things I can guarantee you about life: everybody makes mistakes. Nobody gets out alive.
That's right.
And so, like, the minute you accept that, like, your mistakes become less catastrophic.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, now there's just lessons to learn from, so you can begin to give them more information. But I think so much of what we've been conditioned is to avoid loss, avoid and shelter away. And I think that could be a disservice to people later on in life when, like, your first time experience in death or loss is when you're an adult and you haven't developed the skills to process it. So I think the work you're doing is like...
And that's systemic.
Yeah.
It's inconvenient for me, for you to feel sad and grief and cry in front of me, so you have to go do it over there.
Say that again.
That it's systemic. It's inconvenient for me. It's uncomfortable for me to have to hold your grief. That it's like, that's why it's okay.
Yeah.
We don't like being uncomfortable. And some people don't some people really struggle with other folks being held accountable even, right? So if you come to me and you say, you hurt me, right? No, like, let's talk about it. What happened? Like, tell me, like, share with me, and let me be accountable to the hurt I caused. So that's also, if I could speak plainly, that is, I feel like, the case for me. A really big transformational moment for me, which was at the same time I was going through Open Buffalo's Emerging Leaders. I also had the privilege to go to the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery, Alabama.
Gotcha.
And I was like just in spaces where there was so much stories of collective grief. And I could see me being in the space was really impactful, but it was just like, there's going to be folks that are like, oh, I never want to go there. That's too hard to look at. And it's like, no, we have to go. That's real. So we have to go. And I say we, I'm really, where do I?
That one.
I'm talking to my white folks here. We have to go and get uncomfortable in that, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to really start to figure out a new way of building community. Is we got to go hold some complicated stuff. We got to go look in a mirror. Yeah. And we got to be sad that we have to also grieve that. Yeah. And then we have to do better.
You're making me think.
Shout out Emerging Leaders, because like being here going through the program gave me the language to be like, oh, I get it. Like, I have to go, this is where I need to be.
And language is so important, because we think thoughts, we feel feelings, and we are working on identifying terms and being able to communicate. Yeah. And so being able to, I say this to young people all the time, you can't think without words. Like, try thinking without words. The more words you know, the more thoughts you could think. You start combining words.
It's
the deeper.
Dr. Seuss stuff.
For real. But it was just very, it just, one of those things that was just very simple to me. Yeah. Like, the more words I know, the more thoughts I could think. I start combining words, like compound words. Like, I could have compound and think more deep and complex thoughts. Yeah. And so one of the words that I didn't know this was going to be a conversation on English, but this is dope, because I love languages as much as you.
Look at that. Not planned.
Right, not at all. Going through, put it on 3. So one of the words that comes up a lot, and it's the Emerging Leaders Program. Yeah. And when we talk about and you opened the door for this, so I'm going to come right behind you. And when we're talking about certain communities or different communities, collective responsibility, I always think about when it comes to the liberation of black people and the abolition of slavery, like, they don't hold up enough for the white abolitionists. There's no way it was.
John Brown.
I love John Brown. Yeah. The energy of John Brown, like, that is, if the fact that you said that is why I knew I could rock with you spiritually from the time we connected, because that's how I need you to show up. Yeah. Yeah. You sacrificed your son and your sons and your own life, that you believe that deeply in, like, how immoral this thing is. Don't tell me, show me. Right. Don't be. even though your name is Ally, then don't just be an ally, be an accomplice.
Yeah.
Be an
Like a
accomplice.
conspirator.
Right.
All of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I think stuff like that needs to be lifted up even more, because those were the conductors on the Underground Railroad. The other thing I'm thinking about emerging leaders is Marshall Gans and his definition of leadership, right? That stuck with me from day one.
Yeah.
How he defined leadership as taking responsibility in the face of uncertainty.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm listening to the emerging leaders, I'm always looking to see, how are you taking responsibility in the face of uncertainty? Nothing really more uncertain than like social determinants of health and community, which are working on, our own health and wellness and fitness, which are also working on, but also death and dying.
Yeah.
So like, as I'm listening to you in our conversation, I'm seeing like you're interjecting yourself and taking responsibility in many places and areas. So talk to me a little bit about how that definition of leadership lands with you as an emerging leader. Because I know how I'm experiencing your leadership as somebody sharing community with you, but I'm curious how it lands for you personally.
Yeah. And again, this is everything to do with the Emerging Leader program, I feel like. Just, we went through the yoga teacher training together, and after I was done with it, I was like, you know what? If I've learned anything, it is I shouldn't take up space in this, like, in this wellness industry. There's enough people, enough white blonde women in the yoga studio. So I removed myself from it, and then I think back, and then so going, fast forward, other people, places, things in my life, but Emerging Leaders was more like the first weekend, like even like knowing that like I can take up space, and I also in this movement because it is collective,
Right.
and so I just might have to show up differently, but like I should still show up, and so I think it's really easy for folks who look like me to be like, oh, that's not my space. I shouldn't be a part of this. But to your point around like responsibility, like, you gotta, everybody can, we made a mess. You gotta help clean it up. Like, so,
to say it plainly, I love how you put that there.
we gotta help clean it up. And it just, everybody, and depending on what space you're in, your role looks a little bit different. And I think that was also what was really helpful of going through the program, was that like, I don't need to be in the front of the room. I don't do this. This is the most I've talked about this publicly. Like, I'm in rooms and I'm having like side conversations, and but I don't. This is like a little scary.
No, honestly, because I'm like, that's very interesting too, because that was my experience. Like, I know Ally be outside.
Yeah.
Like, you be outside, you be at the meetings, you be in the community, you be at the events, you doing the work.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I got into this space. That's another reason why I got into this space, is because being in communities, doing this work since about 15, 16, I realized that a lot of the people who are really good at doing the work didn't really care to or weren't good at self-promotion, because the focus was doing the work.
Yeah.
Not, hey, look at me looking like I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
Like, look at me actually doing the work. And so I realized the people who were really, really good at self-promotion and marketing the work were better at that than the actual work they were doing, but there was a lot of marketing and eyes put on them as, okay, these are the people that are really good at doing the work. But it's like, nah, if you're really in the meetings, then the quiet people in the corner that's holding folks together. The people that like, hey, there's no food at this meeting, so I'm going to make sure we have food. There's no childcare at this meeting, I'm going to make sure there's childcare. There are young people who are being mistreated, and my children are being treated well, but just because my children are being treated well, I'm still going to put in a petition. I'm still going to actually put in a lawsuit or do real, actual, tangible things that are going to move the ball of equity forward. I'm just not going to record myself and broadcast and talk about it, because there's only 24 hours in a day, and I'm spending my time doing the work, not showing hey, look at me doing the work.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like, No, people like you that are doing the work, y'all need the platform. We're competing. I work with young people. I understand. We're competing for the hearts and minds of these young people with athletes, entertainers, and influencer content creators on the internet. All these other people who want all these followers.
Yeah.
But where exactly are you leading them?
Yeah, where are we going?
Where are you taking all these? You got 5 million followers, 1 million followers. Where are you taking them?
Yeah.
Where are you leading them to? And so I feel like multiple things can exist. Multiple things can be true. You can subscribe to that, but also they need to subscribe to that.
Yeah.
They need to see what you're doing. And you might inspire the next young person who, when I got into this work, I didn't know any of this thing was really possible until I seen other people do it. And then I realized, oh, I can add my own recipe. I can add my own seasoning. I can add my own flavor to this thing that now I know exists, but I didn't know exists before until I seen somebody do it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing these emerging leader spotlights.
Yeah.
Because people need to see you.
I appreciate that.
People need to know, oh, so I can take up space, and there is a community for me. Is because of the other thing too is a lot of folks want to do the work, want to get engaged, want to get involved, don't have an access or entry point, or they become othered or ostracized within their own family and community because people can't relate to what's in you because it ain't been put on you. It's like, oh, this your job, you're supposed to do it. Like, I'll probably be doing this no matter where I was getting a paycheck from.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to do this kind of work. And that's the importance of emerging leaders and why we're shedding a light on individuals like you.
Yeah, somebody said to me recently, don't do it for love, do it from love.
Ooh.
And I was like, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna put that on my mirror every day. Just remind yourself, I'm gonna come from a place. And you could swap out love with compassion. You can swap it out with whatever you want. But I was like, yeah, where am I coming from?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at this as, especially when I was doing social work and case management with teenagers and youth development and foster care, I'm a professional family member. That's how I show up. I'm a professional family member. So if you're younger than me, I might be your professional or your community uncle, your community big brother, whatever you need in that moment. Right? I'm your favorite cousin. Come sit back, kick it, talk to me. I can do that. If you're older than me, then hey, I'm your nephew.
Right.
I'm your little brother, and I'm here to listen and sit at your feet. So, because one day I'm gonna stand on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So let me sit at your feet and learn. And if we peers, and I'm your brother, and I got your back.
Yeah.
Either way it go, I approach it like I'm a family member.
Yeah.
That is this, because we in this together, and I'm gonna treat you how I treat my family. And I got a big family with a bunch of protective uncles and a lot of nurturing aunties. So like, that's my normal. And when I look into community, I look into other people. I'm like, oh, that has been the greatest gift God has given me. Has been my family, my uncles and my aunties and my cousins. And so I got to show up and be that for them.
Yeah.
And then you add mentors that I've had. So there's almost a debt of like we owe.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to give back what's been given to us.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, as we begin to wrap up, what would you say to somebody who might be on the fence thinking about joining the Emerging Leaders Program, and maybe don't know if it's right for them, or maybe they're a little hesitant, or they might not know what role they come into play? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I would think if they didn't know what role they might play, that's the 100% why they should show up, is because you'll find your voice, your space, you'll find it going through the program. I think it's like, yeah, it was so not prescriptive. Like, I didn't show up saying like I'm gonna, as like, you know, using like a chrysalis metaphor, like I'm not gonna go into this chrysalis and then already know what I'm gonna be on the other side.
Right.
Like, no, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be fed and I'm gonna be taken care of and I'm gonna be nurtured, and what feels aligned is what's gonna show up on the other side. So I think it's like, I think show up messy.
Yeah.
I think show up authentic. I just think show up. Like you'll figure it out. Like because worst case scenario, you leave that and you just have a really dope EL fam. And I mean, that was a bit like, I get my pictures on the wall with you, with so many other incredible community folks, and I'm like, oh wow, like so this way, if nothing else, I can look at that and be like, oh, we went through this together. So would you mind having can I buy you a coffee? Can we talk about this? And then also just the confidence to then do that even outside of your EL family, you know? So
that is very true. It kind of teaches you how to do and build community. And then
everybody's doing that, right?
Right.
Shout out to the sweatshirt again.
Thank you.
Like we're all doing that in some way, shape, or form. So you got everybody.
Yeah, and then you find your tribe.
Yeah.
And you find your people. And it gives you a container to practice in.
Yeah.
And make mistakes and try things. And again, as somebody who work with young people, I'm always like, hey, you better treat school and this community program and group like practice life. Cause like, hey, this is like I also do sports. It's like, hey, this is practice. We out here playing touch football. It's practice. But when the game time comes, these hits hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just out here grabbing flags. That's practice. When you get out there in the real world in the community outside of this container, hey, you might need some coaching, and then also you might need some community. You don't want to go out there in the field by yourself. You need a team. And so giving us that framework, I really, truly thank and appreciate the Emerging Leaders family, Fran, Max, everybody from the beginning, back in, 2013, 2014, where this was an idea in somebody's head to pull this together. All the people who got together at that table and then created the table for us to sit at, I'm incredibly grateful for. Is there anything that you want to share or uplift about the program, your experience, any takeaways that maybe I didn't get a chance to address, any lessons or anything like that?
No, I would just echo everything you said. Like, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful for the community that this brought me to. And I mean, I'm going to head over after this. I'm going to work on the next, heading over to Jefferson for the next, the interviews of the next cohort.
Oh, word.
So, yeah. So,
that's dope.
Yeah. So just like, again, and then I'm like, come on in.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, everybody's got great ideas. It's inspiring. And I'm just so, in a time like this,
right.
It's really a beautiful space to be in. It's really inspiring, you know, whether I get to be part of selecting the next cohort or I get to go call up my cohort after this and be like, guys, we're going to go do this. We're going to, from all the things. So it just so grateful for, and then that even like broaden my network even further.
Absolutely.
So that's why I got to shout out Drea, who is my OG.
Oh.
She got me into she's the one that showed me the death doula ropes, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, so I can't be in a space talking so much about this passion that I have and where I'm going to go next without giving her a shout out, because that was
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love lifting up the people who helped us, and I really, that is what the platform is for. It's about building your tribe, connecting with people, and and you never know who's the missing piece to your puzzle, and you never know who you're the missing piece to their puzzle, especially in this city. I never lived nowhere else.
Yeah.
But in this city, there isn't always who you know or what you know, but who you know that you have a relationship with that's in a position and able to do something for you.
Yeah.
And what positions and roles are you in, and who do you have a relationship with that you can open the door for too? And in my 35 years of living here, I'm learning that's how this city works. It's about who'd you go to school with, who'd you grow up with, who was you in a program with, who do you have a real, because it's such a close-knit city and small city, who do you have a real relationship with? And progress moves at the speed of trust.
Yeah.
Especially here. And so Emerging Leaders in Open Buffalo is creating a space and a container for folks to build meaningful relationships rooted in common values, where I've seen how you interact and how you show up in a tough moment, so I know I can trust you.
Right, exactly. And then that's what's going to transform
Yeah.
the whole city. And then let's keep going. Let's not stop there, right? Like the whole Western New York, the whole state.
Yeah.
Right? So you just keep doing that.
Yeah, just keep duplicating ourselves.
Doing it.
Snowball effect. And we know about snow here.
That's right.
wouldn't mind just one more time, as we begin to close out, letting the folks know where they can find you if you want to be found on social media, and a little bit about the work that you're doing and how they can support anything that you have going on.
Yeah, you can support me by supporting Open Buffalo, and you can support me by supporting any Open Buffalo EL family.
Right.
I was gonna just shout out my cohort.
Yeah, go ahead.
24. Go to just check out anybody from EL class 2024. But no, the whole family. So that's how you can support me, because they feed me, so I
Right.
want to feed them. And yeah, you can find me. You can find me on social media. I say that like I made social media so I could like promote, so I could promote my spin classes. I didn't do good at that. I was like, I don't know what to say. But yeah, I'm findable on social media.
Right.
Do I give a handle? I don't do this.
You can. I'm gonna add it in the title.
I don't know
thing.
it, so I'm like, you find me.
Okay.
I'm searchable. Like,
I know I follow you on something. So I'm gonna find that, and I'm just gonna add that in the little graphic bar with your name on it.
Yeah, or LinkedIn. I'll be better.
Gotcha.
I'll be better on that.
Got you. So for Ally Geddes, who is actually able to find on the internet, we're gonna help you find her so you can connect with her. We're gonna get, you're doing good. Keep it on camera 3. and we're gonna break the fourth wall. So we got future emerging leaders back there producing the podcast. So for Ally Geddes, who you can find on social media, I'll make sure the links to how you can contact with her will be in the description, along with the work that she's doing. For myself, Sherman Webb Middlebrooks, lifelong Buffalo resident and full-time black man, the folks over there, Open Buffalo. If you want to know more about how to become an emerging leader and get involved in the Emerging Leaders Program, please make sure to hit up our homegirl Leslie at Open Buffalo.
Shout out Leslie.
Yes, which is her email. So she ain't just Leslie at Open Buffalo. That's actually her email. So hit up Leslie at Open Buffalo. Go visit our website. Check us out on our other social medias. Check out the other Emerging Leader Spotlights that we're doing. And as always, in the words of my hero, the late, great, honorable Jerry Springer, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.